Hey there. Is blood thicker than water? Love this expression. Mainly because I've had a lot of experience with this and living this. I grew up in family businesses. My dad was an entrepreneur as well as a corporate executive. And so he always had businesses on the side. And since he had businesses on the side and a full-time job and 4 daughters to raise and a whole lot of stuff going on, of course, he brought us girls, I called us, he brought all of us daughters into the businesses, and we had different roles and played different roles and worked in all of the different businesses. And it was a lot of different businesses. A car wash, selling Christmas trees, Christmas wreaths, fireworks, rodeos. We did rodeos for like 5 years. He had bars, restaurants, a pizza place, liquor businesses, both wholesale and retail liquor, all kinds of different businesses over the years. And then he had a used restaurant equipment business before he passed away. So all these different businesses that he expected us to come in and work. Now, in a lot of family businesses, there's this nepotistic belief where, you know, you just get this position because you're related to the boss, or you're related to somebody related to the boss, and that's how you get your position. And that you really don't have to do anything, you just kind of show up here and there. You know, think of what's that comedy my kids like? I can't remember the name of it now, but it's a comedy that my kids like that's basically all family. The Bluth family's in it. Come on, help me out. I don't know. Anyway, if you know, share in the comments below, but I can't remember the name of it. Not something business. Anyway, I'm wasting time trying to think of the name of that. So the Bluth family, you know, all the nepotism, the sons end up running the business for the dad when he goes to jail, and they're not really competent, right? Only one is really competent to fill any role in this business, and everybody else in the company knows that, so they get a little resentful, right? And there's this expectation that that's how it is. Now, I grew up in family businesses where the expectation was just the opposite. If you had a role in the family business, you were expected to perform at a way higher level than anyone else that wasn't related to the family that would have been brought in to do that particular task or job. And in whatever business it was, you were expected to figure it out and kick ass and take names, or, you know, my dad would have no problem kicking us out or having us not work in one of his businesses. So I learned at a really young age that work ethic was super important, and if you were in the family, you better work 2 or 5 times harder than anybody else, or you were going to hear it. Because guess what? People will be a lot harder on family in a lot of instances, at least in my experience, than they will on people that aren't related to the organization or to the family. But there is this big fear of nepotism as companies get bigger and bigger and bigger. And in corporate America, I work for really large corporations, billion-dollar companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, and they all had rules and guidelines, and it was against the laws of the company, inside the company, to hire relatives, and they actually went so far as to make it against the rules to hire relatives because of this belief and fear of nepotism, and that people would think that people were getting favors and promotions just because of that. Now, I worked for some really big companies that had entire families working for them, because the truth is, a lot of times the way that jobs are doled out and the way organizations are filled is with people that know one another and people that are related to one another. A lot of charities, a lot of nonprofits are started by somebody with a passion, and they bring their whole family and all their relatives in to help with that organization, to help further that cause. Work ethic and values and mores are generally passed down from generation to generation, but not always, right? We're all different, unique human beings. So the expectation isn't always that will happen. In my family, my dad was a super hard worker. I'm a super hard worker. My sisters are super hard workers. And the people we married were, because that was what was expected. And all of our kids are. I mean, there's a couple of the nephews that aren't awesome, super work ethic kids, but we all have different skills and abilities, and so they work hard in the things that they love. We work hard in the things that we love, right? So what does this have to do with anything? Well, in your organization, have you decided whether you are for or against hiring people that are related? And it's, you know, if you're a small, non-publicly traded company, that's entirely probably up to you. You're probably not going to get sued because you hired Joe and his brother, or Joe and his sister. But that's something to be aware of. It's the perception of other people that can cause a negative work environment. And if you're managing that perception, if the person's totally capable and more than capable and does an excellent job, then nobody is usually going to complain about it. Although in organizations, I've been in organizations where people create peer pressure against people that work hard because they don't want to work that hard. Especially in manufacturing, I experienced that. And so I could tell lots of stories about that and about negative peer pressure versus positive peer pressure. But blood being thicker than water. Have you personally experienced this in your work life, in your relationships, in your, maybe in school, maybe in any other organization where you felt like somebody has come in and gotten an unfair advantage because of who they're related to or who they know? It's almost always who somebody knows, right? Whether you hear about an opportunity or not, or whether you'll even see an opportunity or not. So love to know what you think about this expression. It's a good expression for today because I'm actually going to, my dad's youngest sister passed away this last week, so I'm going to her visitation this afternoon. And it just reminded me of this whole topic, you know, blood, is it really thicker than water? It's actually, and I don't think I even said this, it's from Germany in the 12th century is where the expression came from. And it's the belief that family, we take care of family, and that family ties are more important and take precedence over anything else. Some people believe this, some people don't. I personally, my family comes first with respect to absolutely everything. Hasn't always been that way. When I was younger and in corporate America, I let other people help me with my family because I didn't make them the number one priority that they should have been. Do I think back on that now and think, oh my gosh, I missed out on so much? Yep, I sure do. Do I regret that? Yes. Am I going to let that stop me from creating awesome relationships with them now and in the future? Absolutely not. Blood is, to me, more important than anything. I love my kids unconditionally. I love my granddaughter unconditionally. And instead of having them be 2 or 3 down the totem pole because, oh, got to make a living, got to make money, got to have a job, got to have a career, those things have gone down in terms of my priorities and importance. And I realized that our relationships are really the most important thing. The experiences we have in this life are way more important, and that involves people and the relationships we have with those people that we, especially those we love and care about, than anything else. And everything else, if you get that right, everything else tends to fall into place. That's it. Have an absolutely amazing day. If I can help you in any way, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to await. Take care. Bye.